Hello, everyone. It is Sunday night. I meant to do this on Friday as the video for the announcements for the end of last week and this coming week that's coming up. Hopefully, everybody's doing all right. We're getting into I guess, the easier stuff in the calculus that you guys are about to come to. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of delineate the stuff that I want to talk about in this video. Number one. Just intro and outro of the stuff that you're going to cover, that you covered from last week and this coming week, right? Two, gradebook, what you see in the gradebook. Three, handing in lecture questions versus quick checks. Four, just looking at the correct course. And five, all the new stuff that comes up after section 3.3. Okay, because I've gotten a couple questions for that already. All right, so first of all, intro, outro. For the stuff that you did this last week, it should have been stuff from section 3.2, 3.3, okay? We transitioned away from, so let me get this, like I said in the video, right? The bona fide definition of the derivative is that limit definition, the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus that thing, okay? That is the bona fide definition of a limit, okay? Do we do that, right? Every single instance that we see a derivative? No. Okay. Section 3.3 is where I start to present the shortcuts. Okay. From 3.3 on, okay, it's all going to be quick shortcuts, quick formulas that it's gonna work out this way. You're gonna use these shortcuts so often you're gonna memorize them anyway. Okay. So that's what you guys just covered in the last section. We transitioned away from the formula and into a bunch of just shortcuts, and interpretations of the derivative, okay? And from here on out, up to exam, it's just going to be, here's a function. How do you take its derivative? It's this way. That's it, okay? And that derivative that you're going to find is based off of the shortcuts only. No more of that limit as h approaches 0 business. None of that stuff anymore, okay? That's what's coming up this coming week, okay? Overall, right, for the next couple of weeks up until our exam actually is going to be, I'm going to give you a function and you're going to be expected to somehow, some way, hit it with a bunch of derivative rules to get the derivative really quick, okay? The shortcuts, I mean, okay? All right, that's the intro for the stuff that we just covered. Thing number two, gradebook. I got a couple of questions about the gradebook. Canvas only has two settings for gradebook. Grade all assignments all at once, okay? Or grade what's been graded, okay? And hopefully you guys have noticed this, that as I've graded stuff, your grade has bounced a lot, okay? So sometimes somebody did, one assignment, and somebody's like, oh, I'm at 100%, right? And then I grade something a little later, and your grade drops to a 78, right? Or it drops even further down to a 60 because maybe you missed the assignment, right? That's the setting that I have it on. I currently have it set at grade what's been graded, okay, as opposed to the other one. If I use the other one, everybody starts off with an F and then climbs out of the F. I kind of don't want that. I kind of want to show like the running tally of everybody, right? So with that being said, if you missed an assignment, some of you guys did unfortunately miss one of the lecture questions, right? If you missed the lecture question, right, so long as that's the only one you miss, right, after a while, it's going to start evening out back to the A that you had before, okay? Just make sure you don't miss any. That's the caveat here, right? So yeah, that's the setting that I have it on. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I can use except Canvas and those two settings to provide you a grade, okay? All right, item 3, handing in lecture questions versus quick checks. I know this is kind of an easy thing to get confused. When you go into the modules, right, I try to make it so that it states right there, section 2.3 lecture question versus section 2.3 quick checks, right? Or did I say that right? Well, quick checks versus lecture questions, right? Some people have turned into lecture questions for the quick checks or vice versa. Just make sure you know, right? Sometimes I catch it, and if I catch it, I'll tell you, like, hey, you turned in the wrong thing. Can you please turn in the right one? Okay. If I don't see you corrected within a couple days, I'm gonna have to give you the 0. Okay. Just make sure you catch it. Just make sure you catch it. Okay. Another thing, number 4, that you should catch is looking at the correct course. So unfortunately, OneNote is the absolute best note-taking thing I've ever used for giving you guys notes and giving you guys all the sort of material that you would need to understand calculus, right, and all the visual bits, right. I can't separate. Now, hopefully you guys notice this. I'm also teaching an in-person 210, 210S calculus with an algebra support, okay? Unfortunately, I can't separate their notes away from yours, okay? They have to also contend with the same thing, that I can't separate your notes from their notes either, right? So I have to keep telling them, just make sure you're clicking on the right class. There was one person in this class that did some work for my 210, 210S class, right? So same thing, I just let them know, like, hey, you're looking at the wrong class, submit the right thing. That's it. Okay. With that being said, item 5. Okay. I've gotten a handful of emails for those of you that have gotten there. Well, first of all the new stuff is in there in the notes up until exam 1. Okay. Which is probably going to be in what, maybe a good 3-4 more weeks? No, 3 weeks. 2-3 weeks. Okay. All the new stuff is in there. Just make sure you go in there and check it out. Okay. What was I going to say? I've gotten a couple of questions of this. Some of you guys have made it to section 3.3 already and have been asking, can I just use section 3.3 from here on out? And the answer to that is yes, please. Good Lord, do that. Okay. Section 3.3 is the shortcuts. Okay. Like I said at the very beginning, right? The limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x, right? All over h. That is the bona fide definition of the derivative. Okay. In your travels later, right? When you go off and study whatever you need to study, right? And you have to take the derivative of something no one's ever seen before, right? The absolute worst case scenario would be go back to that bona fide limit definition, okay? Outside of that, if you need to take a derivative, everybody everywhere takes the shortcuts. Always do the shortcuts. So with that being said, after section 3.3, unless I state, do this derivative by the definition of the derivative, right? By the limit definition of the derivative, right? Unless I state that, you can use any of the other ones. So you can use the shortcuts, I'm sorry. So from section 3.3 and on, okay, use the shortcuts. Use the shortcuts, use the shortcuts, okay? That is it, that's all I had. I've seen a handful of you, not too many, come into the tutoring center on Friday, and that's great. I'll be in there from 12 to 3 every Friday, and I'll also have my Zoom on, so if you want to ask me questions there, that's fine as well, okay? If I don't have my Zoom open, I am for sure in front of my laptop because I'm in the tutoring center and I'm taking care of my own stuff as well. Send me an email, okay? I will for sure see that email Fridays from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? That is it. As always, if there's any questions, you can email me or come visit me during my office hours throughout the rest of the week, right? Or plainly come to the math tutoring center. Usually, I'm in the math tutoring center on campus from about 12 to 2 every day, Monday through Thursday. Okay, it's Fridays is the day that I tend to handle a lot of the stuff for you guys. Okay, so if anything, right, send me an email, get in touch with me that way. My emails do go to my phone, so I do see them. Okay, yeah, sound good? Okay. Besides that, happy studying.